welcome aboard to this episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to following the entire story of One Piece from beginning to end as we focus on each volume. We keep the discussion spoiler-free for new fans of the series, so this is the perfect place to follow along, whether you're new to the series or just want to revisit the world of One Piece with us. This week, we will be covering the first part of Volume 56, Thank You, which covers chapters 542 through 546. My name is Joel, and I'll be your host. Joining me today, we have Sean.
This is Sean.
We have Evan.
Howdy.
And we have Cody.
Yo.
Yeah, so much like where we left off with the last volume, we have the Dream Team here today. We have the full team. We had to collect some of our colleagues here from
Kuma shot us
from Impel Down.
I'm in level 1 basement hell.
But yeah, we're gonna keep this crazy train rolling here. But just a quick overview of where we left off. After undergoing an intense recovery, Luffy emerged from the cave a full day early, something that seemed impossible. Ivankov revealed his ties to Dragon and the Revolutionary Army, to which Luffy also revealed his connection with Dragon being his father. Ivankov connected the dots with Ace being Luffy's brother, that would make him Dragon's son as well. Ivankov decided this was the moment the new Kama would reveal themselves and return to the world, so they would help Luffy rescue Ace. They crashed through the forces of Impel Down to reach level 6, but were too late as Ace had already been moved from his cell to be sent to Marineford. Crocodile and Jimbei offered to help them escape, so Luffy agreed to let them out. After overcoming the trap set by Impel Down security, they escaped from level 6 and made their way back to level 4. All right, so let's just get into the first chapter. Chapter 542, yet another epic incident. While Ace is aboard a Navy vessel to be transported, Roy gets to Sengoku that Blackbeard went rogue and could not be found. Though it's possible, he is aboard the Navy vessel that wasn't scheduled to arrive at Impel Down. Blackbeard's crew smashes their way through the front gates of the prison. Magellan quelled the riot at level 2 and plans to make his way back to level 4 to deal with Luffy's team. Magellan makes a desperate move to have former head jailer Shiryu released temporarily from death row to stop Blackbeard. Luffy's team encounters the Jailer Beast and defeats them. Okay, so where to start on this one?
Wild that Blackbeard of all people decided to just roll up to the prison. I distinctly remember when this chapter came out, because this was relatively soon into me being caught up with One Piece. And this was back when I would look at spoilers for the chapters before fully translated, because I'm in middle school and I just I want everything. I want the answers now. And just there were people who read the summary of it and are there's no way. This isn't real. This is fake. He didn't show up. No, that doesn't make no. Sengoku wouldn't give him there. There's no way. But this is really happening. He's just messing stuff up every which way.
But why?
It
It kind of feels like he has some sort of vendetta. He's going out of his way to do something.
Yeah, so he has some kind of ulterior motive here.
Right? Clearly going against his orders. Seemingly forfeiting his title of Warlord. But
you gotta respect the man for attending the feast still before before heading out.
Hey.
He's hey, let's all the warlords gather here. Cool, let's have this little banquet thing. I'm all on board. And then he's all right, cool, thanks for the food. See you later.
See ya never.
One thing that's really interesting is with the page where you see Blackbeard's crew, this little spread here, we see Lafitte have wings. I don't know if I picked up on this before, but we hadn't seen Lafitte use any kind of powers before. But it does kind of make more sense now because Lafitte was the one that arrived at Marijoa while the rest of the crew was at Jaya. So Lafitte apparently flew to Marijoa to be hey, Blackbeard should be the next warlord. That's why Lafitte was in the window. But that wasn't clear. It's just Lafitte just showed up and was being mysterious.
The feet using the wings.
Yeah, I just thought that was
And
an
they're big
interesting
old wings,
detail.
not little Shandian wings, like big angel wings.
Yeah, like Lafiite's arms look like they turned into wings instead of like sprouting from like his back or something.
I love Blackbeard's entrance. He has not one, not two, but 3 pistols tucked into his waist.
3 pistol style.
3 pistol style.
And a flask.
And a flask.
He's ready for anything.
Blackbeard
eats
Zoro's dad
pockets.
confirmed.
Yo. Wait, let him cook. Let him cook. Hoda.
All the pieces are there. Blackbeard's actually got green hair, but he dyes it black. So he's actually Greenbeard. I'm cooking
Okay.
today.
I see it. I see it.
That's why I don't make theories.
Actually, coming back to the page before Blackbeard holds up, I don't think we've seen Sengoku this stressed yet.
is a man
He's
who's
breaking a
losing
cold
control.
sweat. Yes.
That's why I can't rely on pirates.
I forgot how cool Blackbeard's abilities are on the page. He's
Yeah,
got a powerful devil fruit.
Yeah, we get a good look at some of the powers here. It's I think kind of similar to Crocodile, how like he has like a cool effect we haven't seen in a little bit.
Mhm.
I think Blackbeard has like the same like cool type of effect.
Yeah. Yeah, both visually stunning. I think arguably Blackbeard's ability is a bit more powerful.
On paper, yeah.
Paper, most definitely.
But we haven't seen everything yet.
This is true.
Yeah. So then
Get some-
Magellan's go ahead, Cody.
No, I was gonna say the same thing you're about to say.
Then
You're
you
good.
say it.
Okay, I was gonna say Magellan starts taking care of things on level 2. You get a nice moment between him and Hannibal, and Hannibal's foaming at the mouth because he cannot believe everything going on, and then Magellan actually inspires him, and Hannibal's in full support. Does I guess a nice celebratory, encouraging dance. That's actually kind of wholesome.
Hey, Warden.
Yeah, never would have thought I'd see the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like Hannibal's maybe been humbled a little bit.
And I honestly love that for him.
I love the final combo attack with Jimbei, Luffy, Ivankov, and Crocodile. Or am I reading that right? Is that Ivankov's in the top left, or is that somebody else? I don't, or that's one of the jailer, or I don't even know. It could just be 3.
No, it's the
regardless.
It's
Very cool.
It's sick.
Yeah, they each take out a beast.
Yes. Yeah, that's the zebra. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Great hair. Like I see the confusion.
And we get Sadie's reaction in the bottom left corner. Just screaming no.
Going back a bit, we also get our first full glimpse of Shiryu of the Rain.
Yeah, I don't know much about this guy, but releasing him seems like a big mistake.
Like Magellan straight up basically, I think, says to him, "Yeah, after this is over, I'm just gonna send you back into your cell." Like, is that what he said? Like, you're on a reprieve from death row. There won't be a next time. So, like, what reasoning does this guy have to follow his orders? Like,
good question.
I thought that was him saying. I thought him saying like I thought it was like for now you're on a reprieve. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Like, that's the only thing that makes any sense as far as like how you would get him to actually agree to you. But like, yeah, like this is your last chance to get off death row and like get back into our good graces or something. But
yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Not starting great, immediately killing 4 guards. So yeah.
Yeah, so does he say he gives him he gives him a reprieve from death? Okay.
You're on a reprieve from death row, there won't be a next time. So I guess the idea is that do well here, and I'll let you go from death row, or
This is
maybe
your last
just
chance.
I don't know, but I don't think he's going to listen because he immediately kills 5 guards. So
Definitely not.
I also love how he immediately steps out of his cell and has like all the official Impel Down like
yeah.
insignia and like official outfit.
He's already dressed for the job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also makes Jay Leno look like a bitch with that chin. Like, my God. That's not a chin. That's a
Yeah.
chunk.
That chin deserves a cover story.
Rhombus looking.
Yeah, I mean, like, he doesn't even like hesitate though. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't like contemplate. He's like, all right, cool, I'm out. All right, I'm just gonna kill everybody now. Like, I'm not even gonna like pretend to like not even try to go up a few levels. Like, he's just like, no, I'm just doing it right here.
Yeah.
I really like how this chapter ends. Like, I really like the paneling that Oda uses here. We're using like, in like the second to last spread, you see the jailer beasts, and they're taking up like half of the page, and it's like a double page spread. With the tension building, it's cool seeing like their 3 big champions rising up and taking everyone down, and then you flip the page and it's an even bigger spread of our heroes just like taking them down. And this awesome like synchronized combo attack move. I just think that really hits and just looks great.
Yeah, that's a nice page turn.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
And we got our 3 unlikely allies kicking ass.
Yeah, I'm also just noticing Mina Koala just like eating eucalyptus. Just casually chowing down.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's always time for a snack.
Okay, any other thoughts for this one?
No.
Okay, let's move on. All right, so we got the first of a short series of cover stories. So the first one that we have here is the limited cover series number 11, Sanji's Kamabaka Hell Insanity Volume 1, Adventure on the Island of No Way Out. Sanji runs away from some enthusiastic drag queens.
Oh, yeah, let's get this over with.
I like this character hanging from the ceiling. Looks like a little gremlin or something.
I love the big portrait of Eva on the left.
Yeah.
I'd recognize those eyelashes anywhere.
Okay, let's get into the chapter. Chapter 543, Straw Hat and Blackbeard. Cheerio confronts Blackbeard. Luffy's team faces Sadie, but Ivankov defeats her. Hannibal stops their escape by guarding the exit door. Luffy tries to defeat him, but Hannibal refuses to stay down. Magellan arrives at level 4 from the elevator and begins making his way to the fight. Blackbeard arrives at level 4 from the stairs and knocks out Hannibal from behind. Luffy recognizes him from Jaya, but realizes he's the one who captured Ace when Jimbei refers to him as Blackbeard. Awkward.
So
Aquid.
we started the chapter off with Blackbeard and Shiryu running right into each other. Then Blackbeard just makes his way down.
Good job, Shiryu. You had one job.
And one job.
Somebody's not getting their release from prison.
Yeah. I think he's going to make his own door.
Seeing these drawings of Blackbeard and Shiryu next to each other, I'm noticing the gaps in Blackbeard's teeth, and going back to Joel's theory of the three gun style. What if like the gun fit, like those are notches so that the gun could fit in his mouth? I don't know. I think Joel might be onto something here.
Hey, I don't have any more knowledge than you guys, but saying.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, the clues are there.
I think a gun might fit.
Yeah, some of it might have been trial and error. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit more kickback in the guns than you thought.
Kind of looks like a goofball. But he sure knows how to make an entrance, which we see in this end of this chapter.
Yep.
That panel of him taking
Hannibal's-
down Hannibal is wild.
Just after Hannibal took the biggest W he's taken, even when he took an L.
Oh yeah, and he reveals his weapon, which he's been carrying around for like a few chapters now. Which I don't even know what that would be called. It's like a double-sided staff, double-bladed staff of some sort. Probably has a name.
Does it have two blades, or is he just constantly swinging it? Oh no, it does. It does have two blades.
It has two
Yeah.
blades. I was gonna say maybe like a glaive or something, but I don't know if glaives have two blades.
They rarely. I don't think so. No. Yeah.
So-
So it just looks cool.
Oh no, they did call it a glaive actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, the underwarden is swinging his
His
glaive.
glaive bloodsucker. He's
Bloodsucker.
serious now.
He's serious, but still no match for Luffy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does take a beating, so I mean,
And yeah, gets
he's gonna
back up. Respect. Blackbeard wasn't having it though.
And he does give a good speech
Oh,
for
no.
all his conniving nature and his drive and power. Ultimately, it does come back to actually protecting people for him, which is something we do not always see in One Piece and elsewhere. But gave me a little more compassion for Hannibal when I read this.
yeah, agreed.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's just trying to do his job the best he can for once. But he's showing what he's really made of.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, very unceremoniously, Blackbeard just kind of stomps him from behind and puts an end to that. Yeah, so Luffy is confronting Blackbeard for the first time since Jaya. Last time, Luffy was trying to get away from Blackbeard, so they had to go up the Knockup Stream to get to Sky Island, but Blackbeard was trying to catch him before that. But now Luffy's finding out that Blackbeard is the same guy he met back in Jaya, and the guy who's responsible for catching Ace and bringing him in. So this is all kind of his fault.
Yeah. That about sums it up.
Yep. You could cut the tension with a glaive. It's kind of a fun word.
Yeah.
And we also see a new form for Ivankov.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Just when I
So-
thought I couldn't like Ivankov's character anymore.
Yes, Ivankov uses his devil fruit to turn into a woman.
A pretty
And
badass
then-
woman
Yeah.
with really cool. I really like the outfit. Like the character design is really cool.
And then she's like, out of the way, whip girl. And then Sadie's like, silence. This must be your female form. Such an anarchist who never takes sides. Ivankov's like, hee hee, right now I feel like being a woman. So it's just like Ivankov's just like, yeah, I just felt like changing. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, it's a really cool ability. Yeah. So any other thoughts for this one?
That's about it.
Hannibal.
Okay.
Hannibal OP. That's all I got.
Not that OP.
Wait, he gave a
My
good
heart
shot.
is OP.
He tried.
Okay. Moving on to Sanji's Kamabaka Hell Insanity Final Volume, One of the Girls. Sanji has embraced his feminine side.
Good for him. Her.
Yeah.
Them.
I feel like a woman. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. So Sanji is now wearing drag. Yeah, full dress, lipstick, and seems to be having a good time. So I guess Sanji's just
Yeah, those look good.
embracing it. Yeah. Yeah. Also, since we speak about drag queens here, I was able to go to DragCon a few weeks ago,
cool.
and I met some some drag queens, and I was wearing a One Piece shirt, and the three that we took photos with all said that they love my shirt.
Nice.
Let's go. Yes.
Yeah. One of them was Nymphia Wind, who was like the winner from the main season last season. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. But yeah, when I went up to Nymphia, yeah, she saw like the Zoro on my shirt. And she's like, "That's my man."
Hey.
That's awesome.
So Nymphia's a Zoro fan.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Understandable. But yeah. Okay, but let's get into the chapter. Chapter 544. The lid to the Cauldron of Hell opens. Teach tells Luffy he was planning to kill him after learning he was the one who defeated Crocodile, in hopes that this would earn him a spot to become one of the Warlords himself. But Ace stood up to him and wouldn't let his brother be killed. Ace was defeated, which gave Teach the position he wanted anyway. Luffy punches Blackbeard, but he retaliates by sucking him in and punching back, being able to hurt Luffy even though he is rubber. Jimbei holds Luffy back. He tells him not to fight as he was powerful enough to defeat Ace, and fighting now won't help save him. Crocodile points out Teach must be forfeiting his title as one of the Warlords by being here, but it's unclear what his motives are. Shiryu chose not to stop Blackbeard, has instead started taking down the surveillance systems. Luffy tells Blackbeard he'll save Ace. Blackbeard doesn't stop Luffy's group from passing and announces he will put on a show for the world in a few short hours. Magellan arrives from the other end and covers Blackbeard's crew in poison. Okay, so where to start on this one?
This is a dense one. A lot happens here.
You can usually tell when my summaries get longer. There's more plot points.
I'm also like flipping through as you go through. I was like, man, how are we not done yet? Holy! Not that I'm complaining at all.
So how about we start with the conversation with Blackbeard and Luffy? Because like we're talking about in the last chapter, how Blackbeard was after Luffy for the purpose of hoping to become one of the Warlords. So that was his goal. That's why he wanted to catch Luffy so bad. So we have more context to why he was trying to get Luffy. Like he knew he had a bounty on him, but like he didn't. Like we didn't know exactly what his reasonings were. I mean, he's a pirate himself. But yeah, he wanted to catch Luffy to like make a name for himself. So he kind of went like around that and found another way, which was defeating Ace. So he kind of taunts Luffy in a way. He's like, "Oh yeah, you should be thanking your brother because you know he's sparing you because I don't have to go after you anymore." So he's taking one for you.
Yeah, I don't think Luffy quite sees it that way.
No.
Yeah, you can feel the conflict within Luffy here. Like, obviously, he wants to beat and knock another one of Blackbeard's teeth out, but you know, it's kind of like Jimbei here, kind of stands as the voice of reason and kind of talks him out of being nearsighted and kind of reminding him of the goal here and what's the priority. And they have some time-sensitive matters to attend to. So, right. I think it's kind of cool having Jimbei step in. I feel like Jimbei's kind of had like a, he's been like a wise and insightful ally, and I think who's always had his eye on the bigger picture here, and has kind of kept like stayed the course, and kind of kept, you know, Luffy's eyes on the prize here.
Yeah, so very astute observations you're making. Yeah, so we do get this like kind of sense of, like you said, like wisdom from Jimbei. He seems to be experienced. He's not letting the emotions like, you know, take control. Like Luffy is very emotional and very reactionary, so it is nice to have somebody to kind of pull him back and rein him back in. Because right now Luffy, he like Teaches essentially taunting him, and Luffy's taking the bait, and like Teaches just kind of toying with him. But yeah, like you said, Jimbei is trying to, you know, reel him back in, and get him to realize like what he's doing isn't actually helping the situation, and not let Teach get to him.
It's kind of ironic that Blackbeard is trying to get in the good graces of the government by capturing Luffy, but also at the same time breaking into their prison and killing their guards.
Yeah, as Crocodile says, you immediately forfeited the title. Like, you've obviously forfeited the title of Warlord by coming here. Like, so.
Yeah,
Right.
Crocodile calls him out on that.
I don't really give a shit, though. I'm just pointing that out.
So it's like a layer to like that exchange of like Crocodile's giving the villain litmus test. Like, are you gonna resist the urge to monologue right now? I'm giving you a chance. You gonna do it? No. Okay, I respect you. You want to? Okay, good job. Good job. I see you're one of us now. Great job.
But we do have this interesting fight with Luffy and Blackbeard, because Blackbeard does take Luffy's hip like straight on, but then he's able to retaliate and he sucks Luffy in, and then he seems to be able to hurt Luffy and negate the rubber abilities, because we'd seen before how he's able to negate Ace's powers, but he's also able to negate Luffy's, even though he has a Paramithia type fruit, not Logia. So we see that Luffy's power is being nullified from Blackbeard's Devil Fruit.
No bueno.
And speaking of Devil Fruits, I thought there was something interesting that Crocodile says here. So he says something about the jailer bees, how they won't stay down for long. It says that they have Devil Fruit powers that they're awakened Zoan types. So they don't explain what that means, but he does recognize that there's something different about these Zoans. So he uses the term awakened Zoan types. So yeah,
Interesting.
I just want to point that out, but we don't know what that means.
Yeah, I wrote it down too. It piqued my interest.
Yeah. But it does seem to imply that it says that their greatest strengths are their toughness and recovery speed. So I'm not sure what they were originally. If they were maybe, because it says that they have Zoan types. I'm not sure what their fruits are. So yeah, but I'm not sure what they were before. I don't know if they were people that ate the fruits, or if they're some kind of like regular versions of animals. I don't know what they were.
My initial theory was like they were a Zoan user, but they have awakened and spend their time they spend all of their time in their like beast form I don't know, to the point maybe where they're awakened they can't revert back to their human form.
Interesting. Yeah, so maybe like that's giving them some kind of like power boost or something.
Right. Just a guess.
We also see Shifty Shiryu causing more trouble, cutting off all the transponder snail feeds and messing everyone up in the control room there.
Yeah, so he was not defeated by Blackbeard when they confronted each other. It's not like Blackbeard like overtook him. Yeah, it seems like he just so.
Big mistake, Magellan. What were you thinking, man?
Yep. Starting to see why Hannibal thinks he should be the warden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a clear act of desperation.
Yeah.
It was a gamble that didn't work out.
No, it did not.
Magellan does say to Hannibal, "You're the only one fit to succeed me," though.
Ooh.
True, which was really nice.
Which is a nice moment. I do love the dynamic between these two. Like, it's been a fun interaction between them every time.
Yeah, the bond is growing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing bond.
Rainn Wilson.
Go ahead.
Rainn Wilson is Hannibal?
He's kind of become a huge weirdo these days.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's gotten really into like, some kind of weirdo Christian stuff with mythology. Yeah, like he's not like screaming like bad. It's it. Look him up. It's weird.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'll check into it. Put a cap on that.
Oh, John Krasinski as Magellan. If you get Rainn Wilson as Hannibal, John Krasinski, Magellan.
See, I want John Krasinski as Marco.
Yeah, but then. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Steve Carell, Magellan.
Steve Carell. Yeah, no, that. I don't want A-listers in my show, but that would be so good. Yeah. Okay, I can mess with it.
But yeah, speaking of growing bond, we do see Buggy and Mr. 3 continuing their their bro journey over here.
Oh god, idiots. I love them.
And like they're letting the prisoners out, and like we see them like cheering. Yeah, he's the luckiest man alive, our savior, Captain Buggy.
The definition of failing upwards.
The great adventure continues.
Yep.
I do feel at the end I wanted to point out again, I don't know if we brought this up before, but it's something that I think only grows as the series goes on. Blackbeard really feels like the evil version of Luffy in the sense of just like nothing's impossible in this world. It's the same with the One Piece. It definitely exists. Just fucking do whatever. We're gonna shake the world, but in a way that's considerably more, like he's an asshole about it.
Yeah.
They have a similar sense of like, yeah, just go for it mentality, but his version of let's go for it is, and I also stomp on anyone in my way as I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So
like when Luffy says he wants to do it, you get like inspired. Yeah, when Peach says it, you feel uneasy.
Perfect example, the version of if Blackbeard somehow ended up in that situation where Luffy on Amazon Lily were like, okay, I'll let you go, but these people will stay frozen, or you can unfreeze them, but you have to stay. Blackbeard would be like, okay, cool, I'm out of here. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. He immediately would have been like, great, awesome, I'm gone.
Yeah. Cody, did you have something?
I'm not sure I did, honestly. I think it was just that more deceit and it's just a more deceitful and cowardly way of going about the way things that Luffy does. But that's mainly just to support Sean's point.
That's right.
But it is interesting that they kind of share a similar goal, and they even kind of chatted when they on their first encounter and kind of bonded in that moment, because I think they did have some similar kind of outlooks on life and kind of some characteristics that line up. I mean, last time they connected, it was a very amicable situation.
Yeah. Well, although they were also on opposite sides of like how they felt about the food. So I think that shows like also the kind of like an inverse. Yeah, because like the cherry pie, like they're like, oh, this is awful. No, this is delicious.
No, they're very good foils to each other.
And is Teach is a D, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Teach D Marshall?
Yeah, Marshall.
Marshall D Teach, yes.
Marshall D Teach.
So far I think we have Luffy, we have Roger, we have Teach, we have Ace, we have Dragon, we have Garp.
And Saul.
Is that all of them so far? And Saul, yes. I think it's all the D's at this point.
I think another interesting parallel between both Luffy and Blackbeard is their crew. Like they both kind of have like a small group of talented people. It's not like they have a big crew, like tons of ships. They both have like small select crews of people that they trust and that bring like a special talent or ability to the group. So maybe some like similar like leadership outlook maybe between them.
But does Teach have a musician?
Not right now.
That's the main question.
That is the big question.
I didn't say he was a better captain than Luffy. I was just saying there's some similarities.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point though. That they are relatively small crews compared to like, you know, some like maybe the bigger pirates probably like large crews.
Right.
I mean, Luffy even has the numbers advantage on Teach at this point.
So yeah, I wonder if Teach is like seriously looking for a musician, or maybe he doesn't like music. So that could also be like another point of contention with him and Luffy. We don't know.
He must have some instruments floating around in the infinite void. That is his devil fruit power.
But yeah, then at the end, it seems like Teach's crew gets bested by Magellan because he's able to cover them in poison. So things actually don't look great for Teach's crew. So I'm not sure if they're even going to be able to make it out of here.
Yeah, Magellan made quick work of them.
Because we saw what it did to Luffy, so that stuff's no joke. Yeah, you guys got anything else on this one? Okay, let's move on to the next cover story. Limited cover series number 12, Robin's They Do Such Terrible Things, Volume 1, Adventure in the Land of Slaves. Robin was able to steal the keys for her cuffs as she hides from the guards.
Nice.
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 Yeah, because we saw Robin was not having a great time where she landed. But it looks like she might be able to hopefully get away. That's all we got so far.
That's all we got so far.
Okay, moving into the chapter. Chapter 545 to Sunshine and Freedom. Buggy and Mr. 3 reached level 1. Luffy's group makes their way through level 3 and plan to take a Navy vessel station outside the prison. Shiryu has sabotaged the communication system, so word cannot get in or out what's happening in the prison. Magellan is caught up to the group, but Ivankov offers to stay behind while everyone helps keep going. Inazuma cuts up the stairs so they can't be followed. Magellan defeats Ivankov and crashes through the floor to face Inazuma. Luffy's group reunites with Buggy and Mr. 3 on level 1. Magellan has managed to defeat Inazuma as well, and now appears on level 1 and orders all Navy ships to depart immediately. Mr. 3 blocks Magellan's poison with a wax wall.
I love stuff like this. When the character who just seems like the most useless ends up being the tech for the matchup.
Yeah.
And so it lets you be like, oh, hey, we actually have a chance now. We aren't just cooked. We're not out of the clear yet, but we know how to navigate this now. We have a chance. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, Mr. 3 counters Magellan.
Mm-hmm.
That weird poison guy was right behind us. All right, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Luffy's, like the natural counter to Eneru.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So sometimes you just have those devil fruits where it's like they just interact in this way.
Your little Pokemon type matchup kind of things.
Good for making walls to hide behind and fighting poisonous hydras.
Yep.
Yeah.
Multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose.
A true artiste. Speaking of Mr. 3, I also love how when everybody reunites and they see Crocodile for the first time, not only do their facial features pop out twice, Mr. 3 and Buggy, but the second time, literally his glasses pop out along with his eyes behind them. Which I don't know why. That's just it's so silly.
Yeah, no, that reaction is incredible.
Yeah, so they don't seem too thrilled to see Crocodile.
No.
Or Luffy. Yeah, I love.
But he's nice to them.
Yeah,
and come on, not
yeah, so
fair.
Like the paneling, where like they're like, "Oh, Straw Hat," and Luffy's like, "Oh, I'm sure glad you guys are okay." And then like Luffy's speech bubble like pierces them in the heart, and they're like, "Ah," because like his niceness is like getting to them. He's like, "Oh, why are you being so nice to us?"
It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
Mr. 3, what's a worthless piece of trash like you're doing here?
Yeah, because Crocodile did give the order to have Mr. 3 killed.
Yeah.
Previously, so.
Mm-hmm. Even though Luffy's chill with everything, Bonchan does give them a little bit of comeuppance. Buggy and Mr. 3.
He's mad that they abandoned them back there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, unfortunately, their jailbreak crew kind of started dwindling down because Magellan was catching up. Like Magellan came from behind them and caught up, but he was able to hold Ivankov back and then defeated Ivankov with the poison. But we do have this funny moment where Ivankov gets covered in the poison, and it takes off like the mask after making like this whole like dramatic thing, like, oh, my face is melting, it's melting. Not, I'm protected by a thick layer of makeup.
You got us again.
But this time, like Ivankov has to like be like his own commentary.
He has to be his own commentary.
Audience of one.
Perfection.
You're just buying time. It's like, well, yeah, but I'm succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sadly, Ivankov does get defeated here.
Eventually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Inazuma, same thing. Inazuma also bravely stays back and holds Magellan off to try to give the others a chance to escape. But
That
Magellan's too
sequence for
powerful.
Inazuma, yeah, Magellan's sick with it. That sequence where Inazuma shredded up the stairs, though, I thought that was insane.
So cool.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts up the floor and uses it to like smack Magellan. Kind of like tentacles. Yeah, it's really cool devil fruit.
Yeah. Pretty heroic stuff from both of them, staying back to slow down Magellan here. Very selfless, sacrificial acts by both of them.
No, Steph.
Yeah, and they were originally not even going to participate in this.
Right.
So that shows like how committed they are to this cause, trying to save Ace. So they're going full and they're fully committed, even if it means sacrificing themselves. Then unfortunately, Magellan is trying to outmaneuver them and like ruin their plan, which is to take the Navy vessel. So Magellan's like, well, if they don't have any ships, they can't escape. So he gives the order to have them all set sail.
Yeah, it's difficult seeing all these people fall to help Luffy reach his goal. It's almost like, they're trying to save a single life, and so many lives are being sacrificed in the build up, or the even just attempt to save one person's life. And it's been difficult for Luffy. Like I said earlier, like Luffy is ready to like stop at any moment and try to save any single person from being taken down or falling to his cause. But it's like they've committed to this goal, and like whatever, like it is a way, whatever it takes situation.
Yeah, I will say though, like I think the main thing is Luffy didn't ask anybody for help. Luffy was just committed to this cause on his own, and this was his decision. He's like, I don't care if you want to help me or not. I'm going to do this no matter what. And the other people willingly chose to go along with him, so they offered to go. So I think it's important to note here that Luffy wasn't trying to force anybody. Like Jimbei and Crocodile also were like, hey, like, we'll help you out, like let us out.
And there's also that part where the initial beginning of Mr. 3 and Buggy's like tormented new relationship with Luffy, where they're like, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have a good one, bye guys, bye. Like, they're like, oh, you just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, so I think that's also that's important to know that Luffy is not trying to like sacrifice other people for this. It's like if people are willing to help him, that's great, but Luffy's committed to this cause one way or the other.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say like Luffy.
No, and I'm not saying that you
has asked
were
anybody, but it's just like interesting that like Luffy got this ball rolling, and like Jimbei at this point is the one making sure that it gets accomplished. Like Luffy on his own would have just tried to save everybody and never would have made it out of this prison in time. I think he would have stopped and tried to save every person he could, but he would have stopped to fight Blackbeard. He would have stopped to fight, everybody. Yeah. But Jimbei's kind of like pushing it forward and being like, no, we have bigger fish to fry. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's just interesting that like Luffy is spearheading it, but he's also kind of like caught up in it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's just inspiring other people and motivating them. And I mean, at the same time, though, like a lot of these other people are also using it as an opportunity to get free. Like Buggy and Mr. 3, they're also freeing the prisoners. So, it is like that's just kind of like a byproduct of what's happening. That's not Luffy's goal, but it's just kind of like what unfolded from the chain of events.
It's just like it's just crazy to see how much it snowballed since it started. Like Luffy just went in on a single solo mission to save Ace, and it's turned into like this massive confrontation involving, half of the warlords at this point, pretty much, and like, it's like turned into a little mini war of itself. Outside, like leading up to the bigger war that is coming.
Yeah, just pure chaos.
Pure chaos.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the last chapter for the episode?
Let's do it.
So we get the final part of Robin's cover story. Limited cover series number 12. Robin's They Do Such Terrible Things. Final volume. The rebel army saves the slaves. Robin and the other slaves are freed by the Revolutionary Army.
Huh.
The Revolutionary Army, you say?
Yeah, so yeah, an interesting connection here, considering the ties with Ivankov and Dragon.
Is that Kaku? Oh no, it's just a giraffe.
Bro, I wish. Bro, I wish Kaku defected. I wish. This guy just has good style.
Although it is very much reminiscent of like Garp, so it feels more like the Navy because even like Nizumi.
Oh, it's a hat.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
Yes, I do think it's interesting that they have these kinds of hats because this other guy has kind of like a mouse kind of hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good sign. So Robin's getting some help.
Nice.
Love to see it.
Okay, so let's finish off the episode with chapter 546, Fishman Pirate Captain Jimbei, Warlord of the Sea. Luffy has Mr. 3 team up with him to cover his hands and feet in wax in order to be able to fight Magellan, while he tells the others to secure a ship. The prisoners make it out of the front gate to find there are no ships left. They notice a ship off in the distance, so Jimbei says he'll take care of this. They take one of the doors from the gate, and Jimbei carries it through the water with Crocodile, Mr. 1, and Buggy on top. Jimbei catches up to the ships and throws the door on top of the others to take care of the people on the ship, while he uses water from the ocean to fight back.
Oops.
What a
Sorry,
beast.
I forgot we were going to use that ship.
Yeah, so we get to see Jimbei kind of going all out here.
This is so cool. I love the way it's drawn. The way he's manipulating the water like that, kind of like,
it like a sheet. Like,
yeah, it looks so cool. I love that.
Yeah, it kind of makes like this like a stream of water like shoot out from the ocean, and he like hits the ship with it.
Yeah, this is awesome. Finally getting to see the Fishman karate at its finest.
Jimbei definitely shines this chapter. We also get such wonderful Buggy shenanigans as well. Fools. You're better off going to Warlords of the Sea than staying here waiting for Magellan to get you. And then he's just scared shitless the entire time.
I mean, he does get a pretty cool pose in the front of the door as they're
it's sick.
speeding along.
Yeah. Crocodile too.
Crocodile too, Mr. Bone. They're just like so nonchalant.
So it looks pretty epic. It's like, oh yeah, like the heroes are going out to save us. And Buggy, yeah, like you said, Buggy's like Mog's just like idiots. Like,
why did you even come with us?
Like, I thought it'd be safer. Miscalculation on his part.
Just a bit.
But yeah, like this first panel though, like of when they first come out of the front gates and they see there's no ships left. It's pretty dire looking because like you just see like the empty ocean and like there's no ships left. Like, what are we gonna do now? And then like luckily they see the ship off in the distance and Jinbei's here, so he can like he's basically like the one person here who could have got them out of the situation. So it is really fortunate that they let him out when they did.
I just love the scale of that one panel at the start. I mean, like just literally the tiniest bit in the bottom center just used to show us how small everyone is compared to this vast expanse of water. just how desolate, how trapped they are at this one little place. But Papa Jimbei's got us. They are set.
Coming up clutch.
Yeah, it's also important to note that they're in the calm belt too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we see like how flat the ocean looks. Like, I mean, there's like a few waves, but like overall though, it's like pretty flat looking. So it does make it look almost kind of like a desert. Like just like looking at it, it's like how like empty it is. So it does make it feel like very isolating.
That's a good point.
And also with the fog too, I think it kind of gives like this very dreary kind of feel as well. So it's like the perfect setting for having Impel Down.
Very much so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've seen every inch of it now, pretty much. Going back to the beginning of this chapter, I absolutely love the Luffy and Mr. 3 combo we get here. I love that this is like probably the third time they've done it too. So it's like they've like perfected their combo move at this point, and Luffy gets the full wax get up here, which is awesome. Right? Like they've comboed a few times now, so it's kind of cool seeing the ultimate form.
Yeah, because before it was just like it was like the candlelock hammer type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he gets like the boxing gloves and like the robot feet. So he looks like a fighting robo type of person. It's kind of like similar to his armor that he had on the Little Garden, but it's like a mini version of that. And Luffy's just like completely like amazed by like how awesome he looks.
Thanks for making me look so cool. That's
this is
my guy.
Yeah, then Mr. 3 is just like, yo, like pay attention, like stay on target here. You got a fight going on. But yeah, this does give Luffy a way to fight back. So before it was pretty hopeless when he was trying to just fight him like barehanded. So this does allow Luffy to have a chance against Magellan.
Just enough.
Yep. Luffy surrounding himself with people that can make him better and everyone better.
But yeah, that's pretty much where we leave this half of the volume.
Oof. This is intense.
Yeah, so things are looking pretty hopeless, and now we have a ray of hope that the chapter title keeps coming back.
We're just leaving it in the hands of 3 criminals.
It's a question
I guess
of fate.
Jimbei is a good guy. I trust Jimbei. Croc, I couldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, and same goes for Buggy.
Yeah, but how far? What about how far Jimbei can throw him though? He threw him pretty far on that door.
Pretty far.
But yeah. So what are your overall thoughts on what's going on as a whole right now? Any closing thoughts for the episode?
I mean, if it's a tough situation we find ourselves in. I feel like it's kind of been like a, 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of situation for Luffy trying to catch up with Ace. And he seems to just be getting further and further away. But it's really going to be coming down to the wire. And, I think everything's starting to coalesce. Everything's moving in this like singular point. We have like this war brewing, and kind of it seems like everyone's going to a singular spot. Before like Luffy kind of tried to do his mission, which was unsuccessful. And so now everything's like coalescing into a singular place. And I'm very anxious to see how that turns out, because it's going to be, like we've already seen just in this volume, we've seen 3 Warlords of the Sea.
Yeah, if you want to count Crocodile.
Blackbeard.
Yeah, Blackbeard, Crocodile, Jimbei. and just knowing the others are close by. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's like all coming. It seems like it's all coming to a head pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. I'd forgotten how much happens in like this later stage of Impel Down and just how much it builds on itself. This hasn't been the longest arc, but it's definitely been one of the most explosive, just as far as, like Evan said, everything coming together.
Yeah, Impel Down's been really fun. It's like literally like each level of the dungeon, each level of hell, like fighting the boss on each level, and like all the different combinations of people and the new allies and the familiar faces. And
I'll also. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
no, go ahead.
I'll say this much. I still don't like the Magellan poop joke stuff, but it didn't dominate the stuff as much as I thought it would. Like, they haven't made one of those. He's like, oh, I got to go take a shit for 3 hours, like in like 10, 12 chapters. Like, it's been like, he's just fighting now. It's like, okay, like, I still don't like the joke, but it didn't like really affect his screen time that much. So
yeah,
that like honestly raises my opinion of the character and of the arc a little bit more. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of come up like twice, but like, yeah, it's almost like irrelevant because like how much we've seen Magellan, where he like has been like fighting and not actually like,
yeah,
seeming like out of order. So yeah, it seems like it was like exaggerated, like by like how much they were saying, like because he only like operates like 4 hours a day.
It feels like it's been longer than 4 hours.
Yeah,
at this point, and he's still operating. So I don't know.
But yeah. We'll finish up the arc for the next episode, and we can also rank Magellan and see how he stacks up with the others. But yeah, for right now, I think Impel Down has been very much like a roller coaster, where there's a lot of like push and pull and like a lot of like crazy stuff happening, and it's like things like seem like they're going well, then they go bad, and they go well, then they go bad. So it's like it really is kind of keeping you guessing like what's going to happen. So I think it's gonna be exciting to see how this turns out. But that'll be a conversation for next episode.
It's interesting that our villain rankings are going to start including world government people.
Yeah. Well, I guess Lucci would. I guess technically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm just saying it started off as all pirates, and now it's kind of starting to become world government.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right. So that will conclude this week's episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. You can find this episode wherever podcasts are found at We're Reading One Piece podcast.buzzsprout.com or on the YouTube channel at We're Reading One Piece. This is a spoiler-free channel up to where we have recorded the podcast, so if you're new to the series, you can visit the channel there. You can also find me and this podcast on my YouTube channel at Pirate King Codex for more One Piece content. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can reach us at wearereadingonepiece@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from listeners, so if you're enjoying the show, or if you have any suggestions on how we can make it better, let us know. Next episode, we'll be finishing Volume 56. Thank you. I've been Joel, and I've been joined by Sean.
This has been Sean.
Evan.
This has been Evan.
And Cody.
Hannibal 2024. Let's go. Let's go. This is Cody.
He has Magellan's endorsement.
He's going to end up as the vice president and just trying to continue like usurping the president the whole time. Like,
hey man, at this point, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how this lasts. But for now, thank you for listening, and be sure to bring along all of your hopes and dreams, and we'll see you on the next episode.